Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world's greatest Bronze Age comic book podcast, Flea Market Fantasy. I'm your co-host, Mike Allen. As always, I'm joined by
Michael Dell of the LCS Hockey Radio Show.
That's right. And check your calendar because it's Jankuary. Episode 2, right?
That's right. Our buddy Kevin Jank is back. Jank, it's week 2 of Jankuary. And for this week, it's my pick. But it's one we all kind of agree, at least you and I agree on.
Yeah,
because
not me.
you were kind enough to purchase these books for me because you know my love of the actress Sybil Danning. And you found a comic book called Black Diamond. And we're doing issue 1 from 1983, I believe. And it stars our own Sybil Danning. Jank, I think we first... Michael, you have no idea who Sybil Danning is, do you?
No clue.
Yeah.
No
All right. So on the LCS Hockey Radio Show, every week we watch some terrible movie, and then we talk about it. And I believe, Jank, we first discovered Sybil Danning with Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yes, and that was when we first came across her. And Miles Watson, who had picked that movie,
that's right.
He informed us of another movie that we should watch quite soon afterwards.
Yes, I totally forgot the Miles Watson connection and all this. That's right, Miles Watson. He suggested Battle Beyond the Stars, I believe. And then when we watched it, that movie, you know, it's got George Papard, right? And Robert Vaughn, I believe.
Oh, Robert Vaughn, yeah.
But the star of the show was Sybil Danning, and I was smitten when I saw... Because, Michael, if you've never seen Sybil Danning in Battle Beyond the Stars, it will change your life.
Really?
Yeah, you need to get on your Google machines right now and Google that up. But so I'm like, oh, this Sybil Danning, she's pretty amazing. And then Miles Watson said, oh, yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet because she's in a movie called Howling 2, My Sister is a Werewolf.
Your
I'm like, oh.
I'm looking at it right now,
sister.
yeah.
Your sister is a werewolf. So he's like, all right, you got to watch this. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's watch it. So we watched that following week, and that movie's spectacular, right, Jank? Howling 2?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it had at least 18 great moments.
Yes. Because I think I talked about this last week on the show, but Sybil Danning, she's an actress in the 70s and 80s, known she's a buxom blonde lady, and she was known for getting topless in her early movies. And then in Howling 2, she told the director she would only do one topless scene. And the director was not happy about that. So when the movie ended, over the closing credits, he showed that same little moment where she's ripping her shirt open 17 times in a row.
Wow, what a dick.
But it made glorious cinema history. The 17 times in a row post-credit scene.
Mike, you should write this down for your movies. Like, take notes on how to be a good director.
Michael's making a movie right now as we speak. Kid, take notes, Michael. Take notes.
I am.
Hey.
Jotting this down.
Also, Michael, Howling 2, it had the Captain America kid from the old Captain America films.
Reb Brown,
Really?
is that his name?
Yep.
From the 70s or the 40s?
Well, Michael, come on. The 70s. Reb Brown.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they wheeled him out. And here you go.
Right.
But what was I going to say? Sybil Danning. So then we saw her again, Jank, and I believe Malibu Express was next.
Oh, yeah, that was probably the next time, yeah. And that launched us in a whole new direction.
Yeah.
That one literally did change our lives, I think.
Yes, it did. Michael, because we've talked about this before, Michael, you have no awareness of a director called Andy Sedaris.
No, I don't.
Well, he made about 12 movies, and Sybil Danning was just in the first one there. Well, it wasn't his first one, but the first one in this series called Malibu Express. And basically, the premise of these films, they're all like B-movie, low-budget action adventure films starring Playboy playmates for the most part.
Sure.
And they're spectacular. And you really need to...
There's like a minimum of 4 playmates in each movie.
Yes. It's this guy cracked the code on how to make movies. And again, Michael, I hope you're taking notes. But every movie, there's a lot of explosions, a lot of bullets, and a lot of, naked ladies. So it's just glorious. And these movies are amazing. So that's where we saw Sybil Danning. And then our buddy Tuffy chose the next one, I think, called Warrior Queen. Right?
Yeah.
That was the fourth Sybil Danning movie we watched.
Sure.
Kind of like a Conan kind of movie, but she's the warrior queen. And,
who doesn't do as much warrioring as you would expect.
Yeah, not really. No, not so
Pretty much she only rescues people by the fact that Mount Vesuvius went off and everyone died, and so she's like, all right, I guess we can leave. She doesn't really do a whole lot.
Now, is that the final Sybil Danning movie? We've only watched the 4 on LCS.
Yeah, I think so. Although, we need to get on this Chained Heat.
Yeah, I know. Chained Heat. It's a very famous movie for a female prison movie called Chained Heat.
Looking at that right now, yeah.
Yeah. I've never watched it, but yeah, we really did watch Chained Heat. But anyway.
You can find somewhere that's playing that one.
For those who don't know who Sybil Danning is, that's a little refresher course. She's a very popular B-movie queen in the 70s and 80s.
Now, can I point out, though, that she did have a later career as well? You're aware of this, right?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about her later career, but I know she did own a hockey team in Germany.
Wait. Okay, I'm looking at her filmography here. She had a segment in Grindhouse in one of the fake trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Werewolf Women of the SS, and then she was also in the Halloween remake by Rob Zombie.
Oh, see, I didn't even know she was in that one.
Yeah, as Nurse Wynn. And then I guess she was in a movie called Jump and a movie called Imps.
She's been in a ton of movies. It's not
one
like,
more, Virus X. There you go.
Yeah. Mike L was just picking out the later movie. Like, she's in a ton of movies.
Yeah, that's
if you go
true.
back.
Yeah, she's kept working.
But yeah, in her older advanced age, she bought a hockey team in Germany, and then she led them to a championship. So congratulations, Sybil Danning.
Wow, what position did you play?
Well, she was the owner. She was pulling the strings. But, she was the Mario Lemieux of that German hockey team. But all right, so that's Sybil Danning, and she's awesome, and everyone should run right out and watch all her movies, even more than the 4 that we watched. But Mike L, seriously, Battle Beyond the Stars. Sybil
All right.
Danning. All right.
She played Saint X-Men, which is a very distracting name for me.
Yes, it was a little weird. All right, so today, though, we're reading Black Diamond, issue 1, because Black Diamond was supposed to be a movie starring Sybil Danning. So they're like, oh, let's do a little cross-promotion thing here. Let's have a comic book with it, too. But the movie never got made. I don't know what happened, but it never got made. There are a couple of theories on why it didn't get made. One was that she had hurt her back. And I think we can all take a few guesses why her back was sore. But that's one theory. And then there's another one about, I can't even remember. But something else happened, and the movie didn't get made. I don't know. I did extensive research. But this all started, actually, because she auditioned for Sheena. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle or whatever. Okay. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I've got it. I own it.
Because that's Blu-ray. Who did that star, Mike L?
Tanya Roberts, right?
That's right. Tanya Roberts of Charlie's Angels fame and Beastmaster fame for our buddy Tuffy.
Oh, yes. Beastmaster. I love it.
He's always trying to slip Beastmaster past us.
Every week, Tuffy wants us to watch Beastmaster, and we always
when you guys watch it, that's my episode, okay?
All right. Yeah, we'll bring you on to watch Beastmaster. Tuffy will be excited.
All right.
So, yeah, Tanya Roberts got the part of Sheena. So then I don't really, come on, Sybil Danning or Tanya. Well, I guess Tanya was probably 10 years younger, at least at the time. So maybe that's why she got it.
It's so hard to tell people in the 80s their ages were. We've come to learn.
Yeah, there is some debate about how old Sybil Danning exactly is. But anyway, so she didn't get Sheena, so her agent or whatever called the fellow who created this comic book, a fellow named Bill Black at Americomics was the name of the company at the time. Now, Michael, have you ever heard of the name Bill Black in all your comic book travels?
Never, ever. No.
Did you ever hear of Americomics?
Yes, I've heard of them, but it's also called AC Comics, I think, right?
Yes, here's what happened.
Totally original.
So Bill Black started Paragon Publications in 1969. And he published a bunch of titles, like a lot of Golden Era reprints and stuff. Sure. And he did some original titles. But he only produced 3 issues a year because he was doing all the writing, inking, and editing. Now, that sounds kind of like overwhelming, but I mean, if you read this book, I can't imagine that the writing was what was consuming his time.
That's
I'm guessing
true.
It must have been all the inking.
Yeah.
It sure as hell wasn't the writing and editing.
That's true. Yep.
But anyway, so then in 1982, Black changed the name from Paragon Publications to Americomics, and then the name changed again in 1984 to AC.
Ah, okay.
And then in 1985, Michael, Black created FemForce.
Okay.
The first all-female superhero team in comic books. Now, are you aware of FemForce, Michael?
I've definitely heard of FemForce, yep.
Yeah, because Jank, it seems like this AC, what they do is they just publish, basically, they're the comic book version of Andy Sedaris. All their books feature really stacked ladies doing adventurous things. That seems to be their gimmick. And so,
yeah, although I'd say there's less nudity in them, so
yes,
they're already at a disadvantage.
Yes, but they seem to highlight the sexy female leads. So it's kind of like the Andy Sedaris comic book version. Michael, have you ever read any other AC comics or Americomics or?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Yeah, this is. You mentioned before we did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was a smaller.
Right. Mirage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but it's always interesting when you read these kind of books because when I was reading this, Michael, I was struck by, hey, how come Michael and I aren't making comic books? What the fuck? If this guy can do, you know what I mean? Like, the bar's pretty low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This reminded me of the comics because I used to create comics when I was a teen, and this reminded me of the comics I wrote when I was a teenager. 100%.
Very much so. And I've been talking about making my own for years now, and I'm still, I don't know, I haven't even been drawing lately at all. But I'm like, why don't we just do it, Michael? Come on, let's do it. You know, it's a new year. It's 2022. Right? Is that what year we're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 2022, Michael. Let's make it happen.
Let me get back to you on that.
Apparently, you just got to hook up with like a big celebrity to get this thing going. So maybe you call the Dave and have him post a topless picture. Maybe
I'll make a superhero based on our buddy Dave Damashek. That'd be great. Michael has no idea who that is either. But,
I just know that he's a cousin of Cousin Brandon.
That's right. He's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told us the origin of his name. Yeah.
That's right. I'll do Super Dave. Well, I could do the Ed. Jank, I could do the Ed.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
The Ed comic.
Read the shit out of that. I hope you're in it wearing a broccoli costume.
Oh, that's right. We already have it made. Mike, we have a buddy named the Ed. He's an older gentleman from Las Vegas. Now he's in Arizona. But for a while there, he's making these little movies on his computer. Like there's some website you could log into. And he was making these little superhero movies of me and him. And I was his sidekick. And I talked with a British accent. And I wore a broccoli costume.
Come on.
That's right.
Really?
It was amazing.
They were so good.
So yeah, we already have it made out, Jank. We just need to put it on paper. All right, but anyway, we're getting off track. But Michael, seriously, 2022, the year we make comic books, all right?
All right. I'll get back to you.
What gives, Michael? Where's the excitement? I thought you'd be, let's go.
Only because I've been part of so many failed comic book projects, you know?
Not with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fuck, Michael? Let's go.
I'll get back to you. Let me sleep on it.
What a creep. All right.
Damn.
So, now, Michael, these other creators in this book, I don't know. We'll counter their names as we go, I guess.
But you know what's funny? I actually know them.
There's a lot.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. So if you look at the artists on the first story, Rick Burchett, he is one of the main artists on Batman Adventures from the 1990s. So he's like an award-winning artist. Yeah, I know him. And he's still drawing comics to this day, drawing Batman Brave and the Bold, the cartoon adaptation. And then Mark Beachum was one of the main artists on Spectacular Spider-Man, which I was reviewing with Becca and Jolie, and Becca hated it because all he does is draw scantily clad women.
Well, you see where it started. It started right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Got his teeth right.
And, well, of course, we also get some Paul Gulacy art in this book. We know Paul Gulacy, of course.
Yes, of course. From, what's it called? Master of Kung Fu and all that.
That's right.
Yeah, yep.
Shang-Chi. Like the cover here. Well, let's look at the cover. The Black Diamond, Sybil Danning, AC. It's a nice little box they have up in the top corner, the AC and the star.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And I like the Black Diamond logo. That's pretty cool. The way they
pretty good. Gotta admit, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it's got like white letters, big white letters, and they're kind of tilted up, so they're like there's a vanishing point there. And the top it says black and diamond underneath it, but the A and the M, like the negative space in there, creates a blue diamond. Yeah, why not make it black? Huh.
Good point. You're right. Good point.
Oops.
Yeah, I guess that was a miscalculation on their part. But otherwise, I think it's a nifty little design. And then we should mention Black Diamond, Sybil Danning. She's a model by day, but at night she's a super spy.
Right? Yeah.
So should we reason they couldn't get this movie made because I think they've made this movie like 3 times in the last 4 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Definitely that Anna movie was pretty much just this.
I didn't see Anna, but yeah. But Black Diamond. So, Michael, describe the cover for us.
So it's actually a decent cover, well, in a way. But so Sybil Danning is standing there with her leg up, kind of posing. She's holding, what is that, an M16? Yep. Or no? Okay, M16. And she's got her black leather costume on with like black, what are those called? Like knee-high boots, kind of, or higher than that.
Go-go boots.
High heels, go-go boots. And then she's got like... like it covers her entire body except for a conveniently placed diamond-shaped opening, over her cleavage. So
you gotta show the cleavage.
Yeah, you gotta have a boob window if you want to be a success in this town.
Yeah, Power Girl's taking notes here.
But how about it being a diamond-shaped boob window?
Of course,
that's on brand.
Yep. And then we got in the background, we see a bunch of guys kind of like falling. Some are falling, some are running, and some are shooting. So I guess the idea is that these are her guys, and they're on her team, but they're shooting the other guys, which are attacking them. And we see helicopters in the background, right? Yeah. And it's a decent cover. Like I actually think that the red color really helps. It's a really nice background red, and it makes her pop out. So it's okay. It's like a little bit stiff, but it's fairly well done, Yeah,
you got lots of fire and smoke and whatnot.
Right.
Jank,
she's a model, so she's got to pose the whole time.
Yeah, she's striking.
Less fighting, more posing. Yeah.
Jank, how do you feel about the cover there, Jank?
I like it. My only criticism is with both the cover and most of the interior art. I don't know that she ever really looks like Sybil Danning.
That's true. Yes,
but
she's a blonde woman,
good looking,
with an ample chest.
Yeah. She's kind of just a generic blonde woman. Looks kind of like Kim Cattrall or Kim Carnes or Kim Wilde. Or
right.
Anyone named Kim.
Yeah.
This art, it's very much like you draw in high school, like flat and stiff.
Yes.
But,
right.
Fun. Yeah. No,
well,
whatever.
See, if they can do it, so can you guys.
I know. But see, like, no offense to Bill Black here, but if I drew this cover, I'm like, well, this isn't good enough to be in a comic book. Okay? But apparently, it's all right. You can do it in a comic book. So,
yeah.
All right.
The 80s, anything goes.
Yeah, apparently.
A lot of cocaine.
So then we open up the book, and it's Tiana Matthews, codename Black Diamond. And this is a Paul Galassi art here, Michael, black and white.
It basically just looks like photographs, right? Like just kind of drawn over.
That's pretty much his gimmick here for a while.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Go ahead.
I was going to read the introduction, but maybe read the introduction there, Michael.
Well, and this is where the problems begin, right? Because we have 3 like text boxes, but they are so poorly like laid out.
Why not just make it one long box across?
Right.
Instead, we have 3.
Okay, so this is how it goes. To the world at large, Tiana Matthews is involved with with Maltmund in the glamorous world of. Then we start at the next one: international high fashion modeling. Beneath the glitter, she is in reality an agent for Infocom space next box 3. Like that is what threw me off. I'm like, what order am I supposed to be reading these in?
Yeah.
And then her jet set travels provide the perfect cover for the beautiful but dangerous lady spy. But yeah, right there is where, like a DC or Marvel comic would not have that mess of boxes at the top.
I don't understand the reasoning behind making 3 boxes instead of just 1. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau logic here. Yeah.
Mike L. throwing out a room reference. Another movie we've watched on LCS Hockey Radio Show.
Yeah, it all comes together.
Yep.
So yeah, but the Galassi art is nice, and then we get to another Galassi pinup.
I like the one in the bottom right there, where she's got like a Quasimodo thing going on. Kind of looks like she's got a hump in her back.
Oh, well, it's her elbow sticking out, and she's wearing like a little shirt.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. You're right.
Huh. That is very strange. Yeah, because where's the elbow? Like that elbow should not be that high.
Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Very weird.
That is weird. All right, so Black Diamond, though, on the next page, we get like another splash, an all-black picture of Paul Galassi drawn of her pointing a gun right at the viewer and busting out of the page. And we get the various artists and writers listed here. Because there's also a backup story that we'll review as well. Yes. Lady Colt, right? Is that her name? Lady Colt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, was that exciting!
I think the art was a step up though, because Michael, that was that other fellow, the Don Secrece, I think.
Yeah, that actually looked like professional art, somewhat professional art.
Some of it, yeah. Some of it pretty good. So here we go. The story, Michael, Black Diamond.
Oh boy. Okay. So it's how can we convey what this is here? Okay, so we see a shot of Black Diamond kind of walking through a door, but it's just not very well executed. None of this is really well executed. She's like opening up a door, she's holding a gun, and she is threatening someone. Freeze, I breached your security so you know my abilities. I want the mole file. So she's come
That's
for
my
something.
favorite.
Yeah.
Freeze, I breached your security so you know my abilities.
Yeah. So then we cut over to
the security is, how this, if this was actually an impressive feat or if she literally just walked in the door.
It would have been nice to see that, eh? But
yeah, we're walking right in the middle of this story, and you don't get a lot of background.
Yeah, actually, that would have been a great opening 3 or 4 pages, right? Like her, knocking out a guard and sneaking through something. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you mentioned the Kwanzaa part. Like she's fighting some international organization, like
Kwanzaa.
But it's not spelled like Kwanzaa, though, right?
Yeah, not the Kwanzaa holiday. Kwanzaa with the Quansa. But it's basically their Hydra, it seems, like a giant octopus sitting around the Ram cartel. And this also takes place last year.
Yeah, right.
And notice Black Diamond's wearing a mask, and on the cover she did not have a mask.
Good point. Also, isn't it funny that the sound effect of her opening the door is slam?
Well, yeah. With 2 M's. Yeah. Slam.
Okay. Anyway.
It's also the sound Mike Dell's fist made into his, when he was reading this book.
Right, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
So now she's confronting this guy. We get a big close-up of her ass as she's confronting this guy, right? And she's there to get this book. So she's like, turn over, but he's not intimidated by her. She's like, turn over the file. And then she shoots like his clock. And then it's funny because, you know that he's startled because the narration says, now he's startled. And we see the guy's face all shocked.
Yeah, she threatens him, and he tells her, hey, you may have got in, but you're not going to get out. That's pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good setup. And now there should be all sorts of other traps and people jumping at her and stuff.
Right.
But no, she's just like, all right, I'm going to shoot your clock. And he's like, all right, lady, calm down.
Right.
Calm down. I love that clock.
And then I love that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, not the clock. But I love how then she's like, as for my getting out, I've gassed all your men, and you're no threat. They keep stressing that she doesn't kill anyone, eh? That's interesting.
Yeah, except later at the airport, I'm pretty sure at least one of those girls died.
Yeah.
She like falls off a balcony. We'll get to that later. But so Michael, she says that, and you're no threat. Then boom, scene change, and she's out. So yeah, literally, she just escaped with no trouble.
Right. Wow.
So why did that guy thought, hey, you're never getting out of here? Oh, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
This comic is action packed.
And then, it gets worse here, guys. So she opens up her suitcase and she's like, all these years, how could I have been fooled? So, but this is the thing is that, the narration says back at her apartment, Tina reads the file and her blood runs cold. And then she's like,
Angel is a centerfold. My blood runs cold. Oh, I'm sorry. I was Jay Giles band.
Yeah. So then anyway, as she's opening up her suitcase, we see like a shadow behind her, like a guy coming behind her. And she's like, not even but And then someone behind me. Tiana whirls on the intruder. Not so fast. Whoa, pretty lady, it's me. Jack, you idiot. I could have killed you. So then what happens is this is so awkward because he's talking to her, then it flashes. Doesn't flash back, but it reveals that she just found out that he is a double agent.
Yep.
Really
what
awkward.
Reveal for a character we just met now.
Yeah.
Would have been nice if we would have been like introduced to him before.
Right.
Some reason to care about him.
Jeez, like maybe he could have helped her break into that building, right? And they could have had a little adventure.
That would have made sense.
Michael, this is why we need to be making comic books, Michael. We come up with these golden ideas.
Yeah.
Bill Black missed out on.
Do Black Diamond how it should have been done, right?
That's right.
On spec. Submit it to Americomics.
I promise I will do extensive research on how to draw Sybil Danning.
Right.
In every position imaginable. It'll be great. Don't you worry.
And then I love this. The next page, she's like, you're a double agent, and as a double agent, you must be. And then there's a little file that says terminated, and there's a picture of his face with a big X through it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not bad.
And then that was all a flashback because that was yesterday. Now we're at today, right?
Well, that was all a dream, right? Or
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think it was all real.
No, that happened.
I don't. Yeah.
But I think it was like a year ago.
Why must I always have that dream? So I think she was dreaming about that whole thought, all that stuff. So yeah.
So
like
then,
all that stuff happened a year ago, yet she's still dreaming about it today.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
So then she wakes up and she's in like a nice scantily clad little nighty thing, and I guess she takes a shower. Then she comes out. She's got a shower, a towel.
But again, as Jank pointed out, all the action in this comic happens off the page. Like she goes in to take a shower. You're like, oh, Sybil Danning. No, we don't get to see anything.
Yeah,
we don't see Sybil Danning.
And I love this. The phone rings and she picks it up, and her thought bubble is, if this is a wrong number, I'll trace the call. And hello? What the fuck?
Why would she be so concerned? If this is the wrong number, so help me. I'm going to kill this.
I'll trace it. Figure out who's not supposed to be calling me. Anyway. That makes no sense. And then, so then I guess this is her boss at Infocom 3, right?
Yeah, Van Pelt.
Van Pelt, I trust that you are ready for your next assignment. Good. You'll just love it. And then he's like, priority 1, you have to go to New York. And she's like, New York? But I have a show scheduled there. Is Kwanzaa acting up again? Right, it's the Valkyrie unit.
I like
Femguard, if you wish.
Well, Michael, let's talk about this panel layout here. Have you ever encountered a panel layout like this? So on the left, we have Sybil Danning talking into a telephone, and on the right, we have the other guy talking in a telephone. But so it's like two panels, but actually they're cut at a slant. So there's a little bit of a panel at the top of just her head, and there's one dialogue balloon, and then there's the next dialogue balloon, and the other like panel that's cut at a slant for the guy. And then we go back to Sybil, and then back to the guy. Have you ever encountered such a layout there for 4 panels like that?
Never. This is so poorly done. Like, if they wanted to do this, they could have placed the speech bubbles, right? Like, kind of in order. Yeah. But putting the panels, like, splitting up the people's faces like that, I've never seen that done.
Yeah, why would you put a break right through the top of her head? That is so weird.
A lot of forehead action in that panel.
Yeah, I don't get it. All right. But yeah, so Van Pelt,
that, the secret agency doesn't I get that she's a model, that's her cover, but they don't, arrange a gig for her in New York so that she can go there. No, it's just if you happen to be there at that time, you can stop this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
purely coincidental.
New York, but you don't have a gig there till December. Like, well, everyone dies.
Yeah, I'm in LA that weekend. Sorry, can't make it.
Yeah.
Just New York. But yeah, so Michael Van Pelt tells her all about the evil ladies, the Valkyrie unit, the Femguard, but they spell guard like they're Finnish.
Right.
A's.
Weird.
VAARD. I don't know if that was what's going on there, but basically it's an all-female unit of assassins led by Vanessa Cord, who uses the code name Darkfire.
And she looks scared, right? She looks scared. Black Diamond.
Sybil's like, oh no, an old enemy returns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, we don't know anything about her or what their history is, but
right.
But Jank, this is so much an Andy Sedaris movie, though, right? When we were reading this, it's like, oh my god, this is exactly what they would do. Sorry,
totally.
All right, so now, Michael, later we get a scene cut later And
yeah. So then she's like she's like thinking in her head, Darkfire. It was inevitable, I suppose, that we should come face to face. So she's about to open up an elevator, but then sure enough, someone's in the elevator. It's a girl with like a shotgun, shoots her, but she doesn't get shot, I guess.
well, she misses her. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it just misses her hand, so she almost gets shot. And then she's like, "Little Nicole, how nice of you, or how nice you shot both your loads at once." But I'm so busy. And then
Which, oddly enough, that happens a lot when I'm around Sybil Danning as well.
Yeah. Again, that's what you said as you read this comic book.
So then she kicks, or she chops the gun out of her hand and then kicks her in the stomach, and then kind of backhands her on the side of the face, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how effective that would be, but yeah.
Oh, no, that'd be really effective. Yes. Yeah. Backhand of the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sound effect is WUD. WUDD. WUD. And the whole time she has her purse on her shoulder the whole time.
And now, wait a minute. This is what we talked about earlier about her not killing anyone. So she grabs this girl and is like talking tough to her, and then we see the sound effect crack, right?
Yeah.
And then she leaves her laying on the floor of the elevator, and she walks out, and there's an old couple that looks in with like a question mark. So clearly she just broke the girl's neck, right?
Well, she could have maybe punched her, but yeah, it certainly implies that she broke her neck.
Yeah.
But Michael, she does give her an out because she says when she's leaving the elevator, she says, "Oh, watch yourself, madam. That floor is slippery and wet." So she didn't do it. That girl just slipped on the floor. So technically, she didn't kill her. So she's going to say, "Yeah, she just slipped." So
yeah, and I was so unconcerned that I just walked away from it.
I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that happened at the end of the Killing Joke, or Batman.
There you go.
Literally killed the Joker.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Oh, she slipped on the ground."
Yeah.
But, so there we go. So Sybil Danning, she murders a lady in an elevator, and then she gets in the taxi cab, and the cabbie says, "Where to, baby doll?" And she says, "You better have your eyes checked there, cabbie. If you think I'm a baby." Or, "No offense, beautiful. Where to? The airport. And no conversation."
And then, when she gets there, he's like, "Here we are." And then she stuffs his mouth with like a $1 bill or $20 bill. "Keep the change, sport."
Well, it looks like he's going to say that'll be 50. Oh, 15.
No, 15.
Right. Yeah,
15. Yeah.
Yeah, keep the change.
Oh,
look at that big tipper, Sybil Danning. How about that?
Yeah, for the 80s, that's huge.
So then she arrives at the airport, and she's like, she's almost late for her plane. So then she is walking through the airport, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the airport, are 3 of the femme guards, right?
Yeah, and by the way, how about Sybil Danning's outfit here going to the airport? She's wearing like a red superhero costume, just going to the airport.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, not exactly ridiculous.
Yeah, and the femme guards are all dressed in green, like bright green. And then she's got a little smart remark. "Something tells me you 3 ladies aren't here for a Tupperware party." And then she throws something at them. I don't even know. What does she throw at them? I don't even know.
I think they're a suitcase.
Oh yeah, okay. And that's what it is. Oh, it's because the femme guard drops her gun. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other
she says,
two,
if you came to see me off, take my bag, will you?
Yeah. Okay. And then the other 2 have like knives, and so it's like snick, and then they both have knives.
But look at that panel there, Michael. The we get on the right, in the foreground, we get a real close-up face of a lady opening the knife, and then in the on the left, in the far background, another lady. That's a lot of empty space there. You know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Could have done a little more with that space.
And I love here how she sets it up. She's like, "Red is down for the count. Time to bring my dart gun into play." Because the reader has to know that's just a dart gun, right?
Yeah.
And then she also narrates in her thoughts, "The drug will put her to sleep instantly."
That's right. Dip. And we get we don't see her technically shooting the lady. We get a giant close-up of the lady's face as she's shooting.
Right.
And it's and the implication is she shot her with a little dart.
Right. Another very weirdly laid out panel, eh? Like
and keep in mind, this is going on right in the middle of an airport.
Right.
This is pre 9/11. You can get away with a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. And then so she shoots another one with a dart gun that looks exactly like a revolver. and then the other one.
Gun in that panel
what's that?
too. of looks like a water gun there. You just spraying her a little bit.
Yeah.
But that lady she shoots, she like falls off a balcony.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
she's fine. Yeah.
she has to be dead.
She couldn't even put her hands out to fall. Nothing.
She's like holding her forehead, like, oh, this work, I can't get it. You know, I'm so tired. But yeah, she's actually falling off a balcony after being shot. It's like. Then there's another lady. One more attacking her, and she gets punched right in the jaw with an uppercut, Michael.
Fack. Yeah. and then on the next page, it's that same woman, I guess, still attacking her. And then I think this is funny. Then after she kicks that woman in the back, she sees an innocent bystander walking by with like a blue kind of like overcoat and hat.
Yeah. A trench coat and a hat.
Yeah, a trench coat. And then she's like, "Don't panic. I just want
your Carmen Sandiego."
Right. And then she's like, "Don't panic. I just want your outfit." So then it's implied that she beats the shit out of this woman and then just steals her clothes. And then she's like, "Help me, it's a mad
Maybe
woman."
she just gasses her with the gun and throws her over a balcony.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. And then doesn't break her neck and leave her in an elevator. Yeah. And then she's like, "While everyone is searching for the mad woman in red, Black Diamond will board her plane." And then that's it. Oh, and then she's like, and then it's funny because then the next panel says more action in this issue with Black Diamond. And it's kind of the end, but
that final picture of Black Diamond there, that's pretty good. I mean, is that Gil Lacey? It looks a little like Gil Lacey.
Well, it's probably just copied from a really good picture. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
the one next to it where her eyes are like at different levels, not so good.
Yeah, good point.
That is true. Here's a tip for you kids wanting to draw comic books: make sure the eyes are on the same line. You don't want to put them crooked. But anyway, so there you go. So now, Michael, we get a little interlude in the Black Diamond story, and we get an update on the real Black Diamond, Miss Sybil Danning. Intrigue and high adventure followed Tiana Matthews into the far corners of the world. Join this lady spy in her first thrill-filled escapade. But we get a big picture of Sybil Danning in the 7 Magnificent Gladiators. I know we gotta watch that.
I've not seen that one. Yeah, that looks like a winner.
Michael. Ooh, la, and la. Look at her. Yeah, and they give you a backstory on how the book got made, and then the next page we get another good shot of Sybil Danning in black and white here, and from Chained Heat. Yeah, we definitely got to watch Chained Heat.
Yeah.
But I like when she gives you an update on all her projects. And reading this, I learned that she was not only in 1, but 2 movies back to back with Lou Ferrigno.
Wow.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
How did the Oscars miss those two?
Right.
But 2 movies with Lou Ferrigno. So,
well, she did win the 1981 Golden Scroll Award of Merit from the Academy of Science Fiction.
I did not know that.
Good as it
I glossed right over that. Yeah, God bless Sybil Danning. So there it is, a little update on Sybil, and then he fills you in on the other stuff going on with the company, and you can write in. But yeah, the name is still Paragon Publications, the mailing address. So how about that?
A lot of characters I've never heard of.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Shade,
read through
Captain
them all.
Paragon, Night Vale, the Slayer, Captain Freedom.
Well, remember those names. Well, I might as well tell you right now. But in this little background that Bill Black's giving, he's talking about how when he was in college at, I think, Florida State University or whatever, he wanted to make movies, and he made like 11 movies over 2 years. Well, Bill Black is still going strong. Now he's like the editor and chief emeritus or whatever, like the honorable, what do I want to say? The editor in chief, you know what I'm saying, Michael.
Yeah,
he doesn't work there anymore, but he's still there. So now he fills his days by making movies. He's back to making movies,
Really?
Michael. And
That
he
is
made movies on all those characters that Jank just mentioned, the Black Veil and all that. He made movies of all those characters. So,
wow.
Yeah, Jank, we got to watch some of these, but I don't know. They're not streaming anywhere. So
It's going to be hard to track down.
He's like a Neil Breen. He doesn't want to get out there.
I think you got to order them directly from him. But because those would be some awesome movies to watch, I'm sure.
Yeah. If they're anything like this, how could they not be?
So now we get another big splash page of Black Diamond. She's beautiful, but dangerous.
Yeah, so now she's flying in the plane.
By the way, we should say Black Diamond was created by Mike Frankovich Jr.
Right.
Because that's the guy who had the idea for the movie.
Right.
Black collaborating with.
Oh, and we should say that the pencils / layouts for some of this story is Mark Beachum of Spider-Man fame. So.
Yeah, they really break it down. He did the pencils for pages 1 through 3, 6 through 8, layouts pages 4, 5, 7, and 9, and then Bill Black did script and finishes for this section.
Right.
The Dark Fire Affair, Mind Trap. That's the title here.
Yeah, so here we go. Another really awkward way to start a story. She's sitting on the plane, and from where she's sitting, it reminds her of Jack Burton, her fellow agent. And she flashes back to a time when she was sitting in the exact same spot on the same plane, sitting next to this guy, right?
This is my favorite, though. All right,
yeah. Well, she pulls, and so he's trying to talk to her, and he's like, oh, and so this is the guy that turned out to be a double agent. And so he's like, you're strangely quiet, Tiana. Whatever you have in that bag has kept you occupied. She pulls it out, of course, it's the gun. Keep still, Jack. I know you're working for them, and you know what I must do about it. Now stand and go to the exit. A gun? How'd you get it on board? It's plastic. It works on compressed air. So anyway, he forces her to walk up. But this is the thing is they get
She assembled
off the
it.
plane.
She assembled it in her bag.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's the other key point.
All the time.
That's what she was doing.
But this is what's insane is
Yes.
they're on the plane, right?
Yes.
And then she's like, well, I have to leave. And the stewardess is like, but miss, we're about to take off. And she's like, you must let us off. I left a very valuable case in the powder room. Then they just leave.
Yes. So just to review, she smuggled a plastic gun onto an airplane, assembled it to, threaten this guy so she could then lead him off the airplane. Hey, Black Diamond, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but maybe, just put the gun in his belly before you get on the airplane. Save you some hassle,
Save you some money for those flight tickets you're not going to use.
What was the point of doing that? Like smuggling in the gun? Like just do it before you get on the plane. What are you doing?
Right.
But Michael, if they did that, we couldn't have that opening shot of her sitting on the plane, remembering the other time she sat on the plane.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason.
Remember the last time she was in the airport bathroom.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't have the same effect.
Good Lord.
So then he basically accepts his fate, and she's like, goodbye, Jack. She pulls the gun on him, the plastic gun, but in her head, the dart is an anesthetic. He'll wake up in an hour. Oh, okay. I guess she's not killing him. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we have different definitions of the word terminated. Because, when I was working as a secret spy and they told me to terminate somebody, I killed them, Michael. But no. She just shoots him with a little anesthetic dart. All right, he's terminated.
Yeah.
She says she planted stuff on him, so he's going to go to jail, and I guess she thinks that's good enough. Like, he's not going to come back.
She put some weed in his pockets. He's going to go to jail for at least 6 months. So take that, Jack Burton, double agent.
So then we see him laying on the ground, and she's like, help, this man has collapsed. Heart attack. But then it cuts back to the present day, right? Well, she's back on the plane again. Whew. And then she's woken up by the stewardess, and then all of a sudden we cut to New York City where she's flying, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden she is meeting up with she's at the command center of Infocom 3. Wonder how they came up with that name, eh?
I didn't recognize the name of the group there when it was all it wasn't divided into separate boxes.
Right.
Infocom 3. Oh, all right, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So then she's got to report to the monitor room, so she goes to the monitor room, and then she walks in, and there's this floor to ceiling length monitor of her boss talking to her, and he's like, he's talking about Kwanzaa. So, Kwanzaa, it seems, is giving Darkfire a free hand on this one. You and Darkfire have tangled before, haven't you? And then we see on the monitor her tangling with the Femguard, right?
Yeah, she's punching him.
And then he's like, as you can see, your actions were monitored by Infocom. We knew Darkfire would try to eliminate you. And then she's like, what? You had agents there but did nothing but take movies? Anyway.
Well, well, he's like, my dear, surely you noticed that you had no difficulty in any of the Darkfire attacks. You're good, but not that good, eh? You mean Darkfire planned for me to escape? Why? To build up my confidence? Probably. What?
Yeah.
None of this plan ever comes together.
Yeah, they're now trying to just build up the confidence of their rivals. Yeah, I hear that James
and it
Bond.
turns out all they want to do is take over her mind and use her to kill people. So what does it matter? Like, you're using her mind. What does it matter what her mind? She's confident or not.
I heard that James Bond's been kind of down in the dumps lately. Let's have him get a few easy wins. What do you say? What do you say, fellas? Yeah, all right.
Just take one on the chin.
He really needs a pick-me-up. So let's go.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. All right, so he warns her about Darkfire, and he says, I don't know. Oh, our colleague Anthony has already had an unnerving experience. Again, we have no idea who the fuck Anthony is.
But also, so he's talking about how her Darkfire's current plot concerns a secret government device that she has stolen. It can control minds at a distance, right? That's the plan. That's Darkfire's plan, right?
But the unnerving thing that happened to Anthony, he was on an assignment at a municipal power plant, but when he blacked out, then he awoke to find himself in a parking lot in Queens. That's happened to me several times, and it was never because of an international spy ring. But they were very disturbed by that happening to Anthony. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All they did was send you home or to a parking lot. Who cares? Get over yourself, Anthony.
So then she makes her way to the base of operations for Darkfire, and it's kind of like just looks like a building, like I don't know, the regular building.
She uses a grappling hook, Michael. That's always cool.
Yeah, but the perspective is weird. It looks like she's like right next to the roof, right? It doesn't look like she's down below it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Really bad. She makes her way to the roof. She climbs down through like the skylight, and then of course there's just 3 FemGuard agents just standing there talking, right?
Yeah, they're just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Talking about boys.
Yeah. And then it's funny because they're talking about why they're there, and one of them's like, "We're here to spring a trap," and the other one's like, "Yeah, Darkfire is betting that they'll send Black Diamond snooping. The Black Diamond, huh? I'll rip her eyes out if she tangles with me." Sure enough, Black Diamond's standing right there. So she picks up a box of, what is that? Hot chili powder.
Hot chili powder, giant wooden crate.
Right. And just smashes it over the head of one of the girls.
That's pretty awesome.
Yikes. And then they're like, it's the Black Diamond. She's here now. Kind of like when they call Batman the Batman, right? Yeah. They're trying to make her sound cool.
The Black Diamond.
Yeah. So then they pull out guns and she they start shooting at her and she leaps out of the way. Actually, this next panel is pretty good. The expression on her face, I like that. Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
And then she's getting shot at and the bullets are going through the wall. So if she was like an inch taller, she'd be dead.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so then she jumps again. Oh, you know what? This is why. It's because it's Mark Beachum. That's why it's actually good.
Yeah, this art, you can definitely tell when the art steps up. Yeah.
Right. So then she leaps through the air, and there's like a cool sequence of like a bunch of multiple versions of her kind of like almost leaping through the panel. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and she's like colored lighter blue to show you that it's remind me of the old Daredevil, Michael, in the early 80s.
Yeah. Right.
Do that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she jumps down and kind of kicks this girl in the face. And then there's like a fight sequence of her like the girl tries to stab her, but she grabs her arm and then throws her through the air.
And here we get some interesting panels, Michael, like angled boxes of color behind the characters to like give a sense of movement to things, and it's pretty
cool. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then the girl's basically beaten, and she's like, "Well, Diamond, could be you're right." And then the narration.
Well, Michael, she says Black Diamond throws the girl over, and she says, "I'd say Darkfire considers you girls expendable." Right.
She's like, "Well, Diamond, could be you're right." And then all of a sudden, off panel, the narration says she swallows a poison capsule, and then Black Diamond's like, "Hey, I was just kidding. See what a smart milk gets you? She's dead," and she actually is dead, just laying on the ground.
Yeah, she killed herself. It's a little weird, but I think it comes into play. We learn why maybe she acted that way in a minute here, but because this next one's pretty disturbing. This is pretty good actually, right here.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Jessica Jones, episode 1, right?
Oh yeah, spoiler. Yep. But then this one, who's up on the ladder, she puts a gun to her head, and then off panel, blam, she kills herself.
Yeah, she could have killed Black Diamond. She says, "Hey, I could have put a bullet in your brain," but Dark Fire wants that pleasure for herself. But until then, here, I'm just going to shoot myself in the head. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
And then,
Dark Fire, like Purple Man, like Kilgrave, is controlling their thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we actually see the girl falling like in the background of the next.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. But then on like a TV monitor, all of a sudden, Blackfire shows up, right? And she's like, Darkfire. She's like, "I want you to understand what it will be like when I control your mind. You will become my instrument of destruction. Through you, Darkfire will annihilate Infocom 3.
Infocom
3. And then, by the way, Tiana, I've wired this warehouse with explosives. Why is she threatening to kill her now? If she
makes no sense.
She wanted to keep her alive to control her brain, her mind. Yeah.
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 They just needed an action scene here at the end to tie things up. So she has 10 seconds to get out of this warehouse before it blows up.
And then she does.
Barely makes it. But yeah, if she trips or something, Darkfire, you just fucked up your whole plan.
Yep. And then she's outside and she's thinking to herself, "Mind control or assassins shall not stop Black Diamond." And then we see this big kind of like splash page of her. I don't know what the hell this is, but she's like, it's almost like a Steranko thing. She's like standing and there's like a horizon with a bunch of guys like on it. And then there's like a shot of like her out in space, like a space shuttle.
That's
like
right. Moonraker.
Yeah, Moonraker.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
a lot of modeling gigs out in space.
Yeah.
Well, that's her spy gig. It's not her modeling. That's the spy gig.
And then, then at the bottom it says, "Next issue, enemy agents plot to destroy the first orbital space station. Enter the beautiful Black Diamond and the action starts. Follow her adventures from Prague to Bermuda to Florida in outer space on Doom Flight." The end.
Pretty awesome.
A lot going on in one issue.
Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, but there are 5 issues of Black Diamond total. 5 issues.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the next 4. This is pretty great.
Are we gonna save our comments for the end, or?
Yeah, well, no. You know what? Let's do Black Diamond now, and then we'll do Lady Colt, and then we'll summarize everything at the end. All right. So, Jank, what do you think about the Black Diamond?
It was pretty terrible, but I would say that it was entertainingly terrible.
Yes.
It was so badly written that you just kind of had to marvel at it a couple times. I love just like the goofy shit, like that "look out, here she comes" thing. It was very much like out of 60s Batman.
Right.
What the fuck is happening here?
It's very much like on the LCS show, we watch terrible movies that are so bad they're awesome. That's what this is. It's so bad, it's great. It's like
kind of with you on that. Like, it wasn't a boring bad. It was just kind of, I don't understand why this happened, but okay.
Yes. Why is this happening? What is becoming?
Why did you make these choices? Why aren't you actually showing anything that happened? Why are we starting the story here and not filling us in on the backstory at all?
Actually, if I was teaching a class, I would use this as an example of things not to do. If you're writing a comic book, as a writer, I think I learned the most by watching bad movies or bad TV shows, because you learn what not to do. And I think there's a lot of valuable lessons in this book about how to not tell a story with comic books. A lot of really good examples of it in here. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. Mike, yeah, I know you loved it, right?
I'm gonna go on the record and say this might be the worst comic we've ever reviewed on Freelance Fantasy.
How dare you?
Yeah. Are we giving numbers here?
Not yet. Well,
okay. But yeah, this is, like I said,
Lady Colt will say that.
It's
Lady Colt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like something I wrote in high school, like in so
Very
many
much
ways.
so. Yeah. When you're a kid wanting to
Yeah.
draw comic books and you make your own comic books in like grade school and high school and stuff, this is what we're talking about here.
Right.
That's
Yikes. Yeah.
A little sad, but I don't know. It was still entertaining. I enjoyed reading
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah,
Jake,
it's
if someone said, "Hey,
entertaining.
you could either read another Black Diamond or Superman," no, I'm reading Black Diamond. I'll tell you that much right now. Give me Black Diamond.
Yeah. I mean, at least it wasn't overloaded with just, tons of narration or something. It went pretty quick.
And all the narration that was there was to help you understand what was happening in the panel. So thank you.
Because otherwise you'd have no idea.
He was startled. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, that's and we mentioned the art, but very much like high school art as well. Very stiff for the most part. There was some good stuff by that Beachum. Is that his name?
Yeah, that was definitely much better. Yep.
Yep. But step up.
All right. So there we go. Introducing Colt, the weapons mistress. Oh, yeah. So I guess is she Lady Colt or just Colt?
Colt.
Now, the art here is that Dan Seacrease, right? And there's some really good stuff in here. Like, there's some average stuff, too, but there's some nice stuff. So,
Yeah, it looks like an actual cartoonist. Yeah.
yep. So take it away, Michael. Explain Colt to us.
Colt, the weapons mistress. So it says here she's the daughter of a military arms expert.
Yeah, her name is Valencia Kirk.
Yes.
Valencia Kirk.
She's dressed like a cowboy, cowgirl, I guess,
Yeah.
with a cut off shirt that reveals her midriff.
And her cleavage.
Yeah, and her cleavage, and she has like a cowboy hat, but it's got one of those fur things on it, right?
It's kind of like the Fool Killer, Michael.
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Cool.
And then she has a mask, and yeah.
Yeah, the mask just covers her eyes. It's like almost like you tie a bandana around like Daredevil whenever you tied a bandana around his eyes.
Right.
Except she has holes for her eyes.
Kind of Lone Ranger-esque.
Yeah, like a domino mask, kind of, right?
Well, no, it's actually like kind of like a scarf. Like it's a hole over her head.
Oh, true. That's right.
You
You see it over here. Okay.
It covers her entire head, but her eyes are sticking out. But it only goes down to her nose.
Right.
Bottom of her nose. Anyway, yeah, and her top is blue. Her pants are black with like a yellow stripe down the side. It looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got a white belt with a gun holster with the C on it in case she ever misplaces it. That's how she knows it's hers. C stands for Colt. And she's got a belt buckle with a big C on it for Colt. And white gloves. And then she also has a gun, Michael, called the Clipper.
Yeah.
Because it's a gun. It's especially a special handgun designed by Colt. Enables her to use a variety of ammunitions in a single weapon. It's a good gimmick.
Because that's super important.
Oh, yeah, she could shoot darts. She could shoot BBs, bullets, salt. I don't know. Yeah, she can do a lot of things.
I mean, I feel like most of them will get the job done. So
You might want to just go with bullets if you only have one choice. But all right,
Yeah.
Clipper can do everything.
it's not like it's like Judge Dredd's gun where it's got like, explosive rounds or like flame rounds. It's just kind of regular different sizes of bullets, basically.
And it also looks like it's kind of made out of plastic. That seems to be a gimmick here at the
Right.
All the guns are made out of plastic.
That's part of this story, yeah.
So, all right, Michael, this is Colt, the weapons mistress in Squeeze Play.
Right. So, yeah, it's funny. I just read this today and I already forgot all of this. But I'll do my best. But she's basically... I'll go ahead.
Would Jank like
Yeah,
to walk?
Jank can. Yeah, it's Jankuary.
Yeah, would you care to do this one, Jank?
Oh, okay. So Colt is being brought in to talk to some special agents. They're like, hey, you guys need to learn from this cowboy prostitute lady. She's going to learn you something.
Yeah, I think she's got a new weapon she wants to show him, right?
Yeah. It's
The
a lot
greaser.
of gun talk here. A lot of very specific, specs of the gun. And it's like, this is where I started losing interest. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, boy. So many things I don't know anything about. But then they decide to go on break, and here's where the action really starts. because they go for break and they find out there's a dead guy in the men's bathroom.
In the lavatory, as they say.
Yeah.
Very quick. He's been shot in the lavatory. That had to hurt. Those bullets came nowhere near my lavatory. That's an old joke from the Thin Man movies. Shot twice in the tabloids. All right, anyway.
Oh, no.
Come on, Mike. That was a movie, a story, and you should know the Thin Man.
No, never seen it.
All right. What a punk. So yeah, one of their fellow spies got murdered in the lavatory, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They have to go investigate there, Jack.
They realize that he's still alive a little bit. And he reaches out and grabs Colt's hand and gives it a squeeze. And she's just kind of like, this is weird. And then he just immediately dies right afterwards.
But I like the art here. Like if I could draw, I'd be happy drawing like that. Where she looks at him.
Good hands.
Because it's cartoony but comic booky, but it's a nice style.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a little Sal Buscema-ish. A little bit.
The line work, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. All right, so Colt's got to figure out, hey, who killed that guy? What are we going to do? And they're like, hey, let's have a big investigation. And it doesn't Colt say something like, hey, it's probably an inside job, because how could anyone get in here and then leave, Is that what you're saying? So,
yep. And they're like, well, how did no one could have gotten it through the metal detector? Well, she's like, oh, well, guns can be made from many things, like plastic, like Black Diamond uses.
That's right.
Let's see.
But she goes into the bathroom to investigate. And she's like, the men's lavatory. I'm in here a lot. Wait, nothing in the trash cans or the commodes.
Where do they throw their weed away?
Think for a minute, Colt. What are we looking for? Something cylindrical. Wait! Why was she looking for something cylindrical? A swift search of the toilet tissue dispensers proves successful.
Yeah.
What did she
so
find?
awkward, eh?
Godfather. They find a CO2 canister in the toilet paper roll.
Yeah, I was so confused. So toilet paper roll killed him? I was so confused. I don't understand.
It kind of looks like a tampon applicator too.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, was the toilet paper rigged to shoot him? I don't understand. What was that? What was the implication?
I think they hid it in there. That was my impression. They took the gun apart after they used it. Although I guess I don't know why nobody heard this at all. He had a lot of time in there afterwards, apparently, to take the gun apart and hide the parts in different places.
But next thing you know, night falls, and we see Colt in an office with a flashlight, right? Or no, just some dude with a flashlight. I guess Colt's in there waiting for him already. I don't know. It's pretty confusing. And
worst ever. This agent Wouter?
Vawter. Wouter.
Yeah. Just reading it made my brain hurt, and I'm like, I don't like this at all.
Agent Walter. So his name's Walter, but he's German. Walter. Yeah. So so he turns on the light or whatever. Oh, there's Lady Colt leaning against the door, all looking all sexy in a little prostitute pirate costume. And he throws a globe at her, Jank. It's like, take that.
He sure does. The deadliest weapon of all. Get you globes.
Globe.
It's got so many ammunitions, but globes are not one of them. Again, I like that this guy. Okay, we find out this guy was the guy who murdered this guy all of a sudden. But we have not seen this guy in the story at all. So what kind of a reveal is this?
Yeah, we have no idea who this guy is. For a second, I'm like, hey, is that Anthony from the Black Diamond story? Because we have no idea who that guy is.
Yeah, good
but no, it's a completely different dude. So Jank, he pulls out his own gun that looks like it was made out of plastic, right? And he's like, yeah, I had plans to steal the greaser and sell it elsewhere. And what does she do, Jank? She just kicks him right in the face.
Yeah, right in the face. And then he throws a suitcase at her. So again, a lot of luggage throwing, a lot of plastic guns in this comic.
Yeah, a lot of overlap. I think Americomics, they just had a little checklist of things you had to do in each story. A plastic gun. Not unlike our buddy Andy Sedaris, you always have to have a remote controlled car or airplane. you know?
Yeah.
And in these books, you always have to hit someone with some luggage. And yeah. Go.
You stick with what works for you, I guess.
Yeah, but he pulls out his gun, but our little buddy Colt, she pulls out her clipper, and she has two of them. It seems like bang, 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 and she just kills them. That's it.
She doesn't go. Oh, actually, no. She says that they were like gas bullets or something like that. Special bullets that explode on contact, releasing a knockout gas. Like, oh, that's convenient. It looks like you just flat out murdered him.
So now Jake, she explains to the other generals and whatnot how she found out that Walter was the killer. Please explain this to everybody.
So she's like, Sim's dying clue. He knew he was dying, so it had to make sense to him. He knew who shot him, but couldn't speak. So he told me by squeezing my hand. He was trying to tell me about something about the killer's hand. I observed nothing unusual about the hands of those at the shooting, except that Wouter was the only left-handed agent. The files disclosed that the real Wouter was right-handed. Like, who would have noticed that when you were being murdered? What hand he shot you with, and that's not his real hand that he uses.
And again, the key point here is we have none of this knowledge as the reader. We don't know any of this. Like, it's someone's
if this was a Columbo episode, we would be outraged.
Yes, This is when you're doing little mysteries, Michael. You got to play fair with the readers. You can't be hiding back information. And they just basically said, how could she possibly have solved this? Well, here's a way. Let's just fill in that one last dialogue bubble. And there it is. Story's done.
Yeah.
The end.
I feel like this could have been a good story if they had more time to flesh it out. But in like the four, like you couldn't really do a whole lot.
They probably tried to do too much
suspects or anything.
But I like the art for the most part. Yeah,
I mean, this is more of a real story than the first one, that's for sure. It actually feels like a story, even if it's not a good story.
Yes. Yeah. So I like Lady Colt, though. She has a nice costume, a nice look, good gimmick, always shooting the guns and whatnot. So,
I wonder if there's an actress this was based on.
No, but there are Lady Colt books, I think, and then Black Diamond appeared in the Lady Colt book. So maybe we can review that at some point as well, Michael.
Oh,
maybe.
Lady Colt. I keep calling her Lady Colt. It's just Colt, right? Just Colt. Yeah. There you go. And then at the end, we get another shot of Sybil Danning on the inside. I got to admit, not her best work. Not her best work. She's not looking that good here.
No, she's terrible,
No.
Not a flattering picture of Sybil Danning. Nope. And this is why Jank always argues that she's about 50 when we were watching these movies, because she looks pretty old here.
Well, that's the thing is, from what I've seen, I'm not too impressed, to be honest. I don't want to be picky.
Holy hell, Michael. Battle Beyond the Stars, you're not impressed? What the hell, Michael?
Well, no. I haven't seen any of her movies. I've only seen this comic.
Oh, no. We'll go look Battle. You have a Google machine. Type in Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah.
Howling 2, Michael. Type in Howling 2. Yeah.
Sybil Danning. Okay, I'll put it in right now. Howling 2. There you go.
We'll get Michael's. Well, no, you should do Battle Beyond the Stars. That's where she's looking at. She's at her peak. Battle Beyond the Stars.
I don't know. That costume was all right, but
what are you talking about?
I mean, Howling 2 was.
Well, Battle Beyond the Stars. Holy hell. Anyway, all right. So,
line in that movie? I remember she said something that was really funny, but I can't remember it.
In which one? Battle Beyond the Stars?
Yeah.
I think there was something about, like, wasn't she the one main character? She had never had sex before, so it wasn't like she trying to talk to that girl about having sex and what it's like or something. It was something along those lines.
Oh, God, I wish I could remember the line.
Yeah. But, all right. Anyway, so there it is, Colt and Black Diamond. So, Mike, the whole experience of Black Diamond issue 1. What would you say?
Ooh, man. Well, I give the first comic, I give the all-time low of 1 out of 10. And then the second story, I give maybe a 3. So I guess it averages out to a 2.
Wow.
There you go.
Harsh.
Damn. Harsh. That is very, very brutal.
All right. Jank, what do you think?
You know what? Just for giggles and snorts, I'm going to give it a 7.
What? What?
Again, it wasn't good, but I'm grading on like the LCS bad movie, grading schedule. Like it was entertaining.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, when we rate our bad movies, Mike, we rate them on a separate scale of like,
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 to 10, only bad. We're not like Citizen Kane's a 10. No. Malibu Express is like a 10. So you got to think about what's going on in between there. And on a normal comic book rating scale, this would be like a 3.
Yeah.
But on a bad comic book rating scale, 7 or an 8. Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Okay, so where does the Room rate? What number did you give the Room?
I didn't actually like The Room, even on a bad, on a bad movie scale. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because it wasn't that enjoyable. Like, maybe it's because we had too many. Like, I went in with already knowing about it.
Right.
Like, if you go in not knowing anything about the movie, I'm sure it would blow your mind. But by the time we watched The Room, we had seen so many bad movies.
Right.
So then you get to this, and it's like nothing exciting nothing funny really happens. It's just awkward and weird, and that's cool again if you're not expecting it. And like, oh, what the fuck is this? But if you've seen that Neil Breen, his movies, holy fuck, that blows this out of the water. So
For Love on a Leash, you've never seen awkward like that movie.
Yes. Never seen it.
It's so good, Michael. Yeah, so compared to those, The Room is nothing. It's not really that entertaining. So
I still love The Room, but yeah, I guess you guys
saw it.
You and Tuff
you saw it way back in the day. Like you didn't
Mhm.
really know as much about it, and it's like so he's seeing it now in 2000 and when we did it 2021. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It's not that. Michael, did you enjoy it?
The Room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went in knowing it was bad, but I did not know anything about it. So when I watched it, every scene was a surprise to me. So when he did like the famous ones, like what's that one? When he like screams and he's like, "Oh hi, Mark."
Tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yeah, you're tearing me apart. Oh hi, Mark. I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't know that was coming. The one like the puppy scene when he walks into the flower shop.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
Hi, doggy.
coming. Yeah, hi doggy or whatever. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? There were a lot of scenes that really dragged. There was like the long sex scenes. But I think you see his ass, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's the other thing. The version Tuffy and I watched had all the sex scenes cut out.
Oh,
We watched it on YouTube. We thought we were getting the full movie. It said full movie, but then we were talking to Jenk when we were reviewing the movie, and Jenk's like, no, there's like 20 minits of sex scenes. And we're like, wait, we didn't see any of that.
and you still thought it was boring?
Oh, it was very boring, yeah.
Wow. I thought it was good. Like, well, good, bad.
Yeah.
But again,
Very
it can't
quotable.
hold. Michael, you got to watch this fella, Neil Breen. What was the name of that movie?
Which one
Fateful
did you
Findings.
watch?
Fateful
Yes.
Findings. That movie is, now that.
I think you can still find it for free online, that one.
Yeah, that is something special. But so to review, though, that's what you're getting here with Black Diamond. If you like those kind of movies that are so bad they're awesome, that's what Black Diamond is. And it's pretty great. And because it's made after my lady, Sybil Danning, I'm giving it an 8. So there you go,
An
Mike.
8. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So next week, it's Jankuary again.
Yeah.
And this time, Michael, I've been told you're letting Jank pick the book.
Of course, because it's Jankuary. All right, Kevin Jank, what do you got for next week?
All right, so I was a little torn. It was easy for me to pick what I was going to do the next week to close out Jankuary, but this one, I was a little torn, but I think I'm going to go with something that a young Kevin Jank would have appreciated. And we're going to go back to the Star Comics, read Masters of the Universe.
No way!
Wow.
Nice.
I never would have picked this. I've never read a Masters of the Universe comic book.
Wow. I have this.
I have them all. Yeah, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the 86 series. Not like there's like 3-issue miniseries earlier, but this is the like the more ongoing type one.
Okay, so this is Volume 2, Star Comics Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
What issue are we doing, Jen?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3. Okay.
Why number 3? What happens in 3 then?
I was just kind of looking through, and it looked like fun, and that it looks terrible. So
Sweet. All right, so there you go. Mike. I know Michael's excited for this, right, Michael?
I'm very excited. Yes.
all right,
All right. I was actually going to pick this at some point, so
What?
yeah, of course.
all right. Saved you some time.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for joining us for episode 2 of 4 of Jankuary. Thanks for joining us again, Kevin Jank.
Oh, no problem.
All
Thanks
right.
to Sybil Danning.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yeah.
And be sure to join
And
us
Lady
next
Colt.
week. Yes, Colt. And be sure to join us every week on Flea Market Fantasy, where we review Bronze Age comics. 1 week I pick, 1 week Mike Dell picks, but sometimes Kevin Jank picks. You can find all of our episodes under Comic Book Syndicate on Spotify, Stitcher, or Apple Podcasts. Also on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or the Comic Book Syndicate website. So until next Tuesday, disperse!